Welcome to NTA Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emekamadi. And on security note, combating crime and strengthening security across airports in Africa is the focus of a two-day security awareness week organized by Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN in conjunction with Airport Council International ACI. Aisha Obali reports that discussants at the event highlighted factors that are impeding effective security around airport environments.
It was a meeting of those in security and aviation sectors to see how to tighten security across airports in the African region, as it is imperative to ensure that all entry and exit points are adequately guarded. Airport remains one of the busiest gateways to any country. It is also in line with this that the International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) dedicated the year 2021 to promoting security culture among stakeholders.
Security, safety is everyone's business. It's our own personal commitment to have security. Not only at the airports, everywhere you are, security comes first. Without safety and security, will hardly have any industry, let alone aviation.
Among other factors highlighted as challenges by speakers is uncompleted perimeter fencing of airports in the country. Meanwhile, this donation by the Nigerian Air Force to FAN is one step to helping in actualizing effective patrol exercise at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which will be reciprocated nationwide.
But where you have perimeter fences not being present, then it creates room for breaches. And so I think that's one of the key things that needs to be done in order to improve the security of our airports.
The security is as strong as the weakest link. So if you have somebody compromise the system, then you know there's a problem. And this is something that needs to be dealt with.
The Security Week has at its theme promoting security culture. In Abuja, Aisha Obali, NTA News.
FCT Police Command has paraded some criminal syndicates terrorizing parts of the territory. Commissioner of Police Babaji Sunday, while parading the suspects, said the command's massive deployment of operatives in some flashpoints in and around the territory is yielding the target objective of protecting lives and property in the FCT. Ilyasu Onoti Yakubu reports.
8 suspects, 3 syndicates and more than 88 exhibits were paraded before journalists. 40-year-old Yusuf Isa from Kogi State is paraded as the ringleader of a 5-man car-snatching syndicate operating around Nyanya Mararaba Zuba access. While he operates with Salifu James, 27, who allegedly supplies guns as well as join in the car-snatching operations, 41-year-old Emmanuel Samuel, on the other hand, is the one who specializes in buying and reselling the stolen vehicles.
No, I have not killed anybody.
How do you operate?
If they park the car, then I will come down, remove it from there.
Yes, it's to use it to rob.
You got the gun to use it to rob?
Yes, sir.
Now, how long have you been using the gun?
He has not given me the gun yet.
He called me that he have a vehicle, whether I am in need of it. I say yes. That is why he bring the vehicle to me.
Similarly, graduate of electrical and electronic engineering, Abubakar Shetima specializes in burgling people's vehicles to cut away their valuables such as laptops, tablets, and bags, amongst others.
If the person lock the vehicle, so the place that I open in, he will not lock, then I'll come back and I'll take the system and go away with it.
Commissioner of Police Babaji Sunday says the command has continued to improve on its community policing strategies targeted to crack and expose criminal elements.
I want to sound a note of warning to criminal elements within the FCT to desist from their nefarious activities or face the full wrath of the law. Also, I wish to reinstate the ban on the use of tinted vehicles and covered number plates.
Babaji Sunday commended operatives of the command for their due diligence in tracking the criminals as well as the public for providing it with credible intelligence. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
In a related development, the security challenges bedeviling Lube district in the Federal Capital Territory will receive respite if the concerned authorities make the needed apparatus available to security operatives to arrest the situation. Some residents made this observation to correspondent Ilyasu Onoti Yakobo in this report on the security situation of the area.
Armed robbery is a major security challenge in Lugbe, just like other suburbs in the Federal Capital Territory. But that, according to residents, is still nothing compared to the threat posed by Okada riders to lives of commuters and road users in the area. As explained by Philomena Ede, not a week goes by in the district without an incident of attacks on persons by commercial motorcyclists in Lugbe.
That one of my friends, the attack have do for up here. They collected all his things for here, both laptops, everything. We used to have that kind of challenge here.
What I've discovered is that we are not adequately policed. You can just be driving and the Okada man hits you from the back and he jumps at you. You'll be left with him and his cohorts who come and, embarrass you, and if you don't take time, you'll now be the person offending, become the victim, and nobody calls your name. You won't see any police.
A couple of other respondents lamented over the occasional cases of armed robbery and recently an incident of kidnapping allegedly in federal housing area. But beyond all of these, the people feel that the police in Lugbe has done well within means to respond to these challenges whenever they occur.
They sort of seize phones or other valuables from people coming from work, at least, and the roads are not good at all. It causes a lot of hold up, so that they come in and seize valuables from people. You see, the response, as you quite rightly said, is they answer, but the response time, by the time they come, it would have happened and gone. In one or two occasions, minor incidents like these boys riding Okada. Sometime last year, they pursued an innocent car owner, pursued him, and just because he hit one of their members, and they killed him. You see, there was almost a riot around here. The police, they came quite all right, but it was late.
Police, they respond. They used to respond. They used to respond. The ones we know, if we call them, they will respond.
I think they need to do more. They need to do more because their presence is not really felt. They should do more. I think government should look into it and do more.
Residents say they have had to resort to self-help by employing vigilante to complement efforts of the police in providing security. However, the people made passionate appeal to the authorities to furnish the area with manpower commensurate to the growing population of Lugbe to enable them deliver accordingly. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
More so, it has become one too many avoidable deaths due to the recalcitrant nature of residents towards the use of pedestrian bridges in Lugbe axis. The Divisional Police Officer, Lugbe CSP Ugochukwu Ohebu, re-echoed this and other issues during the security check program on NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
The Divisional Police Officer, Chief Superintendent of Police Ugochukwu Uhegbu, highlighted some of the activities posing as threat to lives and property in Lugbe and other parts of the airport road, to include activities of motorcyclists due to their recklessness, as they also ply the highways without caution.
Several of them they are already, right as we're talking, are being prosecuted. So that's why I said, if you are a victim, please call the police.
He said pedestrian bridges are specifically designed for the safety of pedestrians, taking note of residents, especially at Berger Junction, who take such risks without minding the consequences.
Very comfortable with, not following due process. The word, shortcuts, you see, is faster. And you equally have individuals who may have the fright of heights. Using the pedestrian bridge may not be an option because they are frightened to use the pedestrian bridge. But crossing the road at the expense of their life, knowing fully well that they could cause a problem for the road user who is moving to the airport, you see, From my own point of view, I stand to be corrected. That I see this as an attempt, a suicide attempt.
Callers on the program are still pleading with security agencies to put an end to activities of scavengers, fake revenue collectors, as well as swan-chance syndicates still on the prowl. Words of encouragement from the DPO is for the residents to cooperate with the police as proper synergy will nip crime in the bud. Tessie Omiri, NTA News.
And away from security, in line with the vision of the FCT Minister of State, Ramatu Tijani Aliu, FCT Administration Social Development Secretariat, says it will not relent in its determination to rid the territory of all forms of destitute, as well as ensure that humanitarian services are provided to those in need of it. The Acting Director of Social Welfare Services of the Social Development Secretariat, Malam Sani Rabe, affirmed this when his enforcement team rescued a man from committing suicide in Abuja. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
Mr. John was residing in Lagos, but when his rent expired, he could not renew, so he decided to come to Abuja since he has a house in Kabusa. On arrival in Kabusa, he discovered that the house had been demolished. Devastated, hopeless and stranded, he became demoralized and resorted to taking his own life before he was rescued by a good Samaritan.
First on Wednesday, I tried to cross express 5 times. At the 5th time, the driver just crossed me on the side. So people come to my rescue. I narrated my story to them. They took me to Yotle, paid 2,000 naira, and bought me 200 naira banana and left.
Acting Director, FCT Social Development Secretariat Social Welfare Services, Malam Sani, who affirmed that he received call from Human Rights Radio, rushed to the scene to rescue the man, said that for the past 4 days, the man had not had any food to eat.
A gentleman beside Human Rights Radio who attempted to commit suicide several times. They say he had been there for about 4 days. Anytime he went there, he used waterproof cover his head, move beside any parked vehicle, and he will be beside the passenger side so that the driver will not notice him. He would attempt, any time the driver attempt to drive his vehicle, he will match him. All he wanted was just to end his life.
Malam Rabe also informed newsmen that Mr. John Alabi will be taken to the hospital for rehabilitation. The team also arrested destitutes and mentally challenged persons. Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA.
And now latest on COVID-19, figures from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and CDC as of 26 October 2021 indicates 28 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 23,177, while active cases now 1,991, and the number of discharged cases stands at 20,968, and 218 deaths have been recorded in the FCT. You're watching NTA Channel 5 News at 1. We will be right back after this break. Stay with us.
Move now! The red light won't kill you! Move now!
To the disobey traffic law, they cause accidents. Me, I don't talk, say I no go dey do am again, because change begins with me.
Let's cross the other side of the road.
I will no longer endanger my life crossing the express. Instead, I will use the bridge, because change begins with me.
Oga driver, stop
this bus now won't come down. I be one carry me pass where they go.
Make I dey stop anyhow for road, they cause traffic wahala and accidents. So I go dey stop for the right bus stop because change begins with me.
Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thanks for staying with us. 2,041 core members of 2021 Batch C Stream 1 deployed to the FCT have been sworn in to the one-year mandatory national service. The NYSC Director General Shuaibu Ibrahim, represented by the state coordinator, says the 2,041 in the Federal Capital Territory will be guided towards a hitchery service to fatherland. Rosemary Motaleng Bilal completes the report.
The swearing-in ceremony for the 2021 Batch C Stream 1 core members is taking place simultaneously across the 36 state orientation camp of the NYSC and the FCT. In his address, the Director General, National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, represented by the FCT NYSC Coordinator Suleiman Abdul, urged core members to take full advantage of all opportunities and prospects made available for them.
These deployment policies are aimed at broadening your understanding of the country, thereby standing you in good stead for effective contribution to the promotion of national unity and integration.
In an interview, the FCT coordinator Suleiman Abdul encouraged core members who are yet to take COVID-19 vaccine to do so without further delay, as the rule could apply to core members in places of their primary assignment.
Everybody going out has to go through taking their jabs and showing proof that so if it has been going on since the directives was given by the federal government, this is nothing new.
Core members promised to give their best during the service year.
I'm happy to be here. You know, the dream of every Nigerian student is to graduate and serve the country, so I'm happy to be one of them.
It's another opportunity for us to preach unity across board.
Core members are particularly advised to shun behaviors that will bring them into conflict with rules and regulations governing the operation of the camp, including taking security advice seriously. Rosemary Motaleng Bilal, NTA News.
The need to inculcate good moral values in children, especially the girl child, has been reechoed. Speakers gave this advice at the one-day sensitization campaign on rape organized by the Association of Nigerian Female Students in collaboration with the Nana Aisha Initiative for Girl Child Development. Hawa Gimba reports that the event had students from various tertiary institutions within Abuja.
Major causes of various assault and sexual harassment, as well as rape in the society, are attributed to indecent dressing among young girls. Stakeholders who converge to sensitize the people to issues of rape say it is a collective effort. Hence, students in the university should also campaign on decent dress code. Speakers at the one-day sensitization against rape put together by Association of Nigerian Female Students in collaboration with Nana Aisha Initiative for Girl Child Development speak.
There are so many things around the issue of rape, but one thing is clear that indecent dressing is one of it. And so my advice to students is that dress modestly.
Rape itself is a violence in all forms. It's a sort of violence. And so our society is bedeviled with this issue of rape. And the family, the society, and even the rape victims sometimes are to be blamed for this. But a lot still needs to be done. More of these programs still needs to be organized so that people will be aware of the evil effect of rape.
It's something that comes together, and we need to start treating from one stage to another. And for us to be able to tackle that point called rape, we need to talk about indecent dressing.
The convener, Nana Aisha, says the chosen theme, rape, The consequences of indecency and moral bankruptcy is apt. Hence, more needs to be done.
Despite the fact that indecent dressing is an immoral thing, the world, the society has really accepted it to the level that it has now become a norm. Like I said, forgetting the implication, the consequences of it, how it's really affecting us as young girls. And when it comes to rape, yes, there is no justification for any crime. But we live in a world where there is crime. So it is up to every individual to make sure that they protect themselves from falling victim.
The campaign had parades of how young girls dress, which can lead to assault as well as sexual harassment in the society. They charge parents to be watchdogs of their children, especially the young girls. Hawagimba, NTA News.
As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the World Audiovisual Heritage, it brings to mind the importance of audiovisual, which is an affirmation of our collective memory and valuable source of knowledge, reflecting the cultural, social, and linguistic diversity of the society. Ifeanyi Zumba in this report examines how audiovisual help people to grow and comprehend the shared world.
The World Day for Audiovisual Heritage takes place every 27th October. This commemorative day was chosen by the United National Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in 2005 to raise awareness of the significance and preservation risk of recorded sounds and audiovisual documents. This day provides an occasion to raise awareness of the need to take urgent measures and to acknowledge the importance of audiovisual documentation.
Throughout history, there have been one form of communication or the other. But when radio was discovered, because radio was discovered before television, it extended the frontiers of communication, humanity worldwide. That one of the gains we made in Nigerian democracy is the expansion of the freedom infrastructure, the expression of free speech, and telling the world what we want them to know at a speed unknown to history. So I think the World Audiovisual Day is worth celebrating because it is glad that humanity can listen to themselves. You could see yourself, you could see your neighbor, you could see somebody talking from a distance part of the globe. So the world becomes a global village.
This year's theme, Your Window to the World. Audiovisual materials and documentary heritage objects provide window to the world as we observe events we cannot attend. We hear voices from the past who can no longer speak, and we craft stories that inform, entertain, and educate. Audiovisual content plays an increasingly vital role in our lives as we seek to understand the world and engage with our fellow being. In Abuja, Ifeanyi Zumba, NT News.
In our sports, Super Eagles head coach Gareth Rowe has an additional 5 players to solidify his team as the Confederation of African Football CAF increases squad list per team to 28 players. We'll bring you details in our subsequent news bulletin. And that's the news. And before we go, remember to get vaccinated to prevent yourself from COVID-19. That's the news. We thank you for watching. Have a very good afternoon.